Hey guys, and welcome to the Tobe Awareness Project. It's me, Tobe, and I hope you guys are all having a great rest of your day. Right now I'm saying rest of your day because right now I'm recording at nighttime. So, yeah. Happy Autism Awareness Month. I hope all you guys are doing well and splendid. I'm not even gonna lie, I did not know it was Autism Awareness Month until I don't know, I was scrolling on Facebook and then it was like, Happy Autism Awareness Month. And I was like, oh shoot, it's like the same thing happens like every February for Black History Month. I kind of forget about it until it's like February 5th and then people are like posting about it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Also, I wanted to say that like I got a few more subscribers. I wanted to say thank you to everyone that subscribed recently and anyone who has been subscribed for a while. I really appreciate it. I appreciate my subscribers. I appreciate all the views and I appreciate all the likes. Let's get into today's topic. I think my topic for today is what is autism? I feel like I talk about autism a lot and stuff, but I don't think I ever like said like what it is. And of course, in some videos, I'll put like the definition of it, but I feel like it would be good to put like a day or two into recording and actually telling you guys what it is. I want to speak about it in a human way that's simple to understand as much as possible, because I feel like, again, you can look it up. You can look up the word autism, you can look up the word autism spectrum disorder, you can look up ASD, and at the end of the day, it'll give you like trillions of different types of definitions or what it is. Let me look it up really quickly so I can like say it word for word what pops up first. Okay, found it. Autism spectrum disorder, also known as ASD, is a developmental disability caused by differences in the brain. People with ASD often have problems with social communication and interactions, and restricted or repetitive behaviors or interests. People with ASD may also have different ways of learning, moving, and paying attention. Wow, that's way better than when I first read it. I think that was like 2 years ago. two years ago when I read it, it was not this. Because when I first heard about autism, and I might have it, I definitely read this, and unfortunately, yes, this. If you know where this is from, I apologize. This I feel like is a little more, is better, I'm not gonna lie. This is actually way better than what I've seen before. That is the definition by Google. Alright, now when it comes to the types, I feel like, personally, I feel like it's a spectrum. I can't even really put it into a typage where it's like there's this type of autism, this type of autism, this type of autism, because it's a spectrum. But I do know that, there is the three types, there's the three levels. And there's like 1, 2, and 3. Now 1 is kind of like, in my eyes, and also based off of some of my research I have done, the best, I don't want to say the best at masking, but these are typically the people that get missed when it comes to the autism diagnosis. Because I definitely got missed for like 18 years, so more of maybe like slight speech delay, might be masking more, might struggle with social cues, might struggle with, not struggle, more of like have high sensitivities. I didn't say struggle because I feel like my hypersensitivities is kind of superpower, even though sometimes there's a struggle. Hyposensitivities, just to go into that, hypersensitivities and hyposensitivities I'm going to explain a little later. It's more of, I think it's more internal when it comes to level 1 in the best definition. And I guess there's like things on, like when I go through burnout, I guess I appear more autistic. But I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to explain level 1 because I feel like it's just, I want to call it hidden autism personally. Also, I think it's just like very hidden. I think it's the one that's missed the most. Now, level 2, I assume is more of like the repetitive behavior. I'm not gonna lie, I have met people who are level 2 and they're pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty lit. I mean, level 3 is pretty lit too, but something about level 2 is like I always feel like I learned something, and I always just like kind of love it. Like level 2, because they're hyper. Well, level 1 also has hyper interest as well, but level 2 has hyper interests that are they're just like beautifully crafted. Just to clarify, I'm bragging completely about myself right now. I'm a mixture of level 1 and level 2, and therefore I'm just bragging about myself for like 5 seconds. I think I'm awesome. And if I have to use an example, if I use penguins, right? If I know someone, their hyper fixation is penguins, I'm gonna learn something new every day. I'm gonna learn something wild every day. They're probably gonna know the best zoos to go to. They're just gonna be super cool. I can probably hit them with some penguin facts. I always know how to make them happy. I always know what present to get them. I just love level 2. Maybe I'm a little biased. I just think they're awesome. But yeah, just to get back into it, I would say that level 2 autism usually is like repetitive behaviors, might show more obvious stems, like experience echolalia a little more than level 1. Echolalia is just kind of like saying or doing things in the exact way you've seen it. For example, echolalia could be hearing someone sing and be able to hit the exact same notes without even like looking at some sheets of paper. It's wild. Those are usually people that might be placed more into the solvent place. I'll be honest, all 3 levels can be placed in the solvent place. I wanted to say this personally. I feel like people can be wicked smart, they can be really cool, but I'll be honest, autistic burnout is also a real thing too. So when it comes to knowing someone that's autistic, please don't ask them if they're relevant. Please don't assume that they're relevant. If they have a super cool talent or they're just really, really smart in a certain subject, just accept it and see it as something beautiful. Because I feel like personally, I had a few things that I was called like relevant in, and I felt really pressured, especially when I had burnout moments. Like I was a kind of like an honors kid, regardless of me failing at like certain subjects. I was like an honors kid, and I was just like really great at doing things and writing essays and doing math. Like I remember my math teachers didn't believe that I did my schoolwork because I would just answer the questions without doing the problem. I would just be like, oh yeah, this is what the answer is. I'll do it in my head. And there's a lot of things I excelled at, right? But when I got into a burnout, my grades plummeted. I mean, to A pluses to 30s to F's and D's and E's. I don't even know. I think because I went to a charter school, I got an E. I don't think an E is a normal thing. Believe me, so that's a thing too. And also I feel like with autism, personally for me, if it's a special interest is attached to it, there might be a random day that special interest just changes, and therefore that person may know a lot about it but just not care about it anymore. And it's a lot of pressure if you expect them to do it at the same level they did it before. I would say, for example, I really like numbers. I still am a very number person, but it's not. Actually, no, it's still my it's still my hyper focus a bit. But I would say, what's something? Astrology, right? I used to be really good at astrology, and I still know a lot about it. A lot of my friends knew me as a person that acts for astrology and stuff, and I would feel super duper like awkward because I just completely, I think a couple months ago, I fell completely out of it. So now every time someone mentions it to me, I'm like, yeah, I know about it, but like it makes me feel like cringy because I'm just like, it's not like my thing anymore. I know it's like kind of like different from calling someone a celibate and hyperfixations. There's obviously a difference, but I would say, if you know someone that's like on the spectrum autistic, please don't ask them if they're celibate. Don't do that. Also, another thing is like, don't ask people if they're high functioning or low functioning at all. But I'm gonna get back to that in a minute. Now when it comes to level 3 is usually like, they usually need more support, and when I say that, I feel like level 2 also needs support. All levels low-key kind of need support, but I would say the levels kind of like who needs the most support. So I'd say level 3 is usually the people that need the most support. Another thing about level 3 is that if they are not like verbal, or if they have struggles with everyday things, they might need assistance in a lot of supports in certain areas. I don't know, I'm trying to explain level 3, but I feel like the more we get into the levels, I need to learn more about it. I think I want to do this video because I want to learn more about it. I think all this time when it came to me learning about I had autism, like I researched it, but I researched mostly level 1, but I think I'm gonna take some time to research Level 1, 2, and 3 all together. Alright, now that I have explained a wide, broad variety of different types of autism and the Google definition of what autism is, I'm going to explain what autism is not, right? I'm going to explain what autism is, and then I'm going to give you guys some examples. So, what autism is not. Autism is not demonic. It is not demonic. If you guys know, I am Christian, right? I have heard all types of things. It's not demonic. It does not need to be prayed away. It is what it is, honestly. And I'll be honest, out of every single thing I have seen online of like demons being removed from people, I have never seen a video of someone removing the demon of autism. So there's my evidence. And then I would say autism is not, like, as I said, there's the 3 levels. I would say autism is not always that person that doesn't give eye contact. It is not that person that cannot talk. Again, it's not all the time. You know what I'm trying to say. It's not all the time that person that cannot talk. It is not like being quirky either. I would say I'm very quirky, right? But I have met people who are not autistic that are very quirky. I'm gonna be honest, maybe there's some neurodivergence in there, but I have met people that are not quirky. I also met some people that are quirky, that are like neurotypical. And personally, it's not just being quirky. So that is what autism is not. Autism doesn't make you, I think I said this before, it doesn't automatically make you Sullivan. It doesn't automatically make you your IQ higher than the sky. My IQ's high though. It doesn't automatically mean you can't function in the world by yourself. It doesn't automatically mean that you don't need the supports if you are high functioning or level 1. It does not mean any of that. You know, it does not mean you should see it. You cannot look at a person and be like, they're autistic. At the end of the day, that is what autism is not. You know? Also, autism is, I guess if you have autism and you want to identify as having Asperger's, that's fine. Personally, for me, I technically have Asperger's and autism. In my personal eyes, I feel like autism is a spectrum, and I'm not going to argue with anyone with it. I would say that if you believe that Asperger's is still a thing, that's fine, but I would say if you're a professional watching this, I would say personally, just look at it as a spectrum. Try not to divide it too hardcore. I guess it's helpful to look at it as level 1, 2, and 3 for different supports that they all need, because I feel like 1, 2, and 3, the levels need different types of supports. But I would say, like, in the sense of separating Asperger's and autism, it's just like, that was, if you guys know where that's based off of, I think it was like World War something. I'm not going to go into much into it because I don't want to trigger anyone. If you want to look more into it, you can. But it's based off of some wild method. It's also, just to clarify, it is not a mental illness. I'm not saying, when I mean a mental illness, I feel like mental illness is something that needs to be cured or needs help being cured. Like, if you have depression, you probably want to cure that. You know what I mean? But with autism, not something that should be seen as it needs to be cured. So I would consider it like, I won't call it it is a disorder, but I wouldn't call it a mental illness. It is not something that you look at and be like, yeah, this needs to be cured. It does not, better said, I'm gonna say this, you guys can look at it any way you want, but autism is not from vax. I'm gonna be honest, if your kid has autism, they had autism when they were born. That is the end of it. That is what it is. I can say this, I did the research, and with autism, with vaccines, like, if your kid has autism, right, and you give them the vaccine, it can definitely hinder them more, or cause effects to take them to like level 1 to level 2, or level 2 to level 3, if you know what I mean. If that helps with anyone that's like, is autism have to do with vax? In some way, yes, but it's not caused by vaccines. And then second, it's not, how do I explain this? It has to do a little with the gut, but not really. It's more of like a rectangle square thing. I think like a square is a type of rectangle, but a rectangle is not a type of square. Well, if you have autism, then there's probably a very high chance that you have some type of digestive or stomach slightly have like some problems. I know because I have some slight digestive problems. Nothing crazy, just like, you ever just be chilling and your stomach just be sounding like a whale? It's been happening to me since elementary school. It don't matter what I eat. It don't matter what I do. There's things I've taken. It just is. It just is. I'm probably gonna talk to my doctor about it, but it just is. And that's an example. Or like there's a lot of things that, I don't know, my stomach is very sensitive to. It's not that if you have stomach issues, you have autism. It's more if you have autism, there's a high chance that you might have stomach issues. There's also a high chance that you might have ear issues as well. You might have more for any guys watching this, my apologies. You might have any or more painful PMS symptoms. PMS. There you go. That's, I think, the 3 things that are affected, and a few other things. Obviously, your neuros, obviously if you're highly sensitive or hyposensitive, your neuros are affected in some way or another. And yeah, and I would say in my eyes, just to answer the question, what is autism? It's beauty and a struggle. I would say it's beauty and a struggle. It's just, I don't want to say missing puzzle piece. We're not doing that. I would say it's like people built a computer. There we go. Someone built a computer, right? And they built a bunch of other computers the same exact way. And then someone was like, hey, yo, I'm going to experiment, right? And I'm going to build this computer. I'm going to add some parts. I'm going to take some parts out. Or I'm going to do something different. It's like, it doesn't make the computer useless. It don't make the computer bad. It's going to be a different type of computer. It might be that it processes information at the speed of light, but the fan's mad loud. It could be that the screen is always blue, but it's just the internet access. You can access all over the world. It's just literally, God gave us something and took something else. I don't even want to say it in a negative way. It's just, it is what it is. It doesn't necessarily take something bad or take something good. It's just, it is what it is. Alright, topic change.